or you can use the pitcher to agitate the liquid. Lift and pour, lift and pour. That's good. That's another way of keeping good suspension. All right, from here, we're gonna pour the glaze inside, up to a little above the half line. I wouldn't go all the way to the top. I don't want to spill the glaze over the edge. Okay, I just fill it up to the halfway. Okay, but you gotta do this really quickly. You can only have the liquid inside up to 3 seconds. If it's over the 3 seconds, the glaze is formulated, the viscosity, the thickness, it's like a little thicker than whole milk, right? But it's not as heavy, it's not as thick as heavy cream. It's fluid. So with this, it's perfect for 3 seconds application. If it's more than that, the one-fired clay is like a dry sponge. It will suck up all the moisture. The longer you hold the liquid inside, the thicker the glaze up it will be. And that is a problem. Okay? So here's the reason. I want you to make as many as possible. You're building your personal confidence, building the shape, but you need to build another layer of confidence in glaze application, right? So you put in a seed over here, you put another set of seeds over here. There's a lot, You have to just practice all around, I want you to be well-rounded, everybody's good at making things, but you don't feel confident in glazing. But you have a masterpiece, you have a great looking piece. But once you put the glaze, not so good, the piece is not gonna look good, right? So you have to build confidence. That's why I want you to, that's what I'm saying. Can you make anything personal for this assignment? That's where you make a lot of things will be driven by your personal interest, and then you practice the glazing, right? And then when it comes to back to the assignment, you already done your work, practicing glazing, right? So that's what I was referring. Okay, so fill up to here, and then I'm gonna just, mimic it. Fill quick, and then I'm gonna rotate, okay? By doing so, pouring the glaze over as I rotate, I can cover the entire surface. Okay, ready? This happened quickly. Just like that. And I'll hold it upside down for a little bit. And as I mentioned, this is like a dry sponge. It sucks up the moisture so quickly. As you can see, it's all dry now. It's all powder. Okay. I missed some spots. That's okay. Okay. Now, just agitate the water, lifting the pitcher up and down. Just keep that. Just the purpose of keeping the good suspension. Now you want to come closer. I'm just gonna dip it. Then I'm gonna go dip it into the bucket, right, up to here. Everything you do, everything here, you're gonna have to have. I'm very hesitant to put my piece down on the surface, especially uncleaned area. There's a lot of residue. There's a lot of film that I don't know. I don't want any glaze here. I don't want any foreign film here, right? So if you're glazing, I will secure the clean area with a wet sponge first, okay? You have no glaze on the bottom and no glaze on the side towards the bottom. At least one pencil width. This is conservative. This is like a marker, the width. But typically, I will go with just a pencil width. Okay. The reason is, same here, right? No glaze on the bottom, no glaze towards the bottom, on the side. Even the plate. No glaze on the bottom, no glaze on the side. Any glaze, if you see, if you go to the store, doesn't matter, Target, Walmart, anywhere, you see a mug from different places, you see, you know, the product with the glaze coated all the way around, right? We don't have the system. That's a different temperature, right? So you have to be careful not to apply glaze on the bottom and then avoid glaze towards the bottom. And then as we are the one, as I'm the one loading the kiln, if I see a glaze applied too close to the bottom on the side, or there's a splatter, a little bit of glaze on the bottom, we will reject. Your piece will not go into the kiln. We have a reject shelf in the kiln room. And as we load hundreds of pieces, there's no way for me to tell which piece I'm rejecting. And therefore, I won't be able to tell you your piece got rejected. It got rejected quietly. So it's your job, I'm gonna show you where the reject shelf is. It's your job is if you know you glaze something, maybe in a couple of days later, to confirm your piece got in, you'll wanna check the reject shelf. And if you see your piece on the reject shelf, communicate with me or us. I can help you how to fix it. So your piece can go into the kiln the next round, okay? Okay. So I'm gonna just stick this into the bucket up to here. All right, I'm holding it like this. I'm just gonna submerge this piece until, you know, I feel the glaze would tip my finger, right? And then I'll take it out. But I'll do this very quietly, especially when you pull it out of the bucket. If you go fast, there's a pressure, there's an air bubble inside, right? It splatter, and then glaze will splatter everywhere. And that's how you get glazes on the bottom or where you don't want. Okay, you have to be very careful as you pull it out. Okay, but all that has to happen within 3 seconds. There's no much time to think. And then also, in order for me to cover this all the missed spots, if I go straight in, the whole thing inside is going to be filled with air. The glaze is not going to cover all this. So what I will do from here, I'm going to tilt a little bit and then go straight out, right? Reduce the number of the air inside so I can cover all this missed spot, okay? And then release the air and then out. I won't pull out straight. Go in an angle, straight down, because I want a straight line. If you want tilted glaze line, if you want the glaze line to be tilted, just go down all the way as tilted. But if you want straight glaze line, yeah, you're gonna have to change the alignment. Go in an angle, reduce the amount of the air inside, go straight in and out, and then release the air, and then out. Ready?
Do you want to get closer?
Do you want to come? Did you video my talk in the glaze room too?
I did not know.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Can I have that footage?
Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
Ready? Can you guys see? I can only do it once. I only have one. Ready? Can you see?
Mm.
Ready? And then you can see the texture is, changing. The bottom is still shiny. That means still wet. But here, it's all matte. That means all powder now. It's so dry now. It will dry so quickly. And then if you flip it too quickly, you can see the drips. Yeah, you want to avoid as much as you can. But if it happens, don't worry. See, because of the tilt technique, you see, I covered in all the 2 or 3 missed areas. It's good now. That's how you apply glaze evenly, okay? Okay, one more thing I forgot. Keep rolling. Before you do this, I talked about film, right? Transferring into this. There's a technical wax resist. It's like Easter egg dye. if you use a crayon, you can draw invisible mark. If you use a clear crayon, you can use any colored crayon, so therefore it's not going to be invisible. Or you can use a liquid wax, right? You can draw anything you want, and it creates a little thin layer of film. And then if you dip it in, that area will repel the glaze. You can do that. But same principle. If you put a lotion before glazing, that lotion, the film, becomes the wax, the crayon. It will transfer. All right. If I'm with that freshly lotion hand skin, or I'm touching all over, just cleaning all that. The idea is to clean it, but I'm putting the lotion all over. So if I dip it, you're not gonna get a clean glaze application. So before you touch your piece, wash your hands with soap, remove any foreign substance off of skin, and then use your clean and dry hands. Okay, this one too. I am going to just dip the whole thing, but again, it's curved, so if I dip it straight in, it's gonna chop air, so I'm gonna do the same thing. And I'm gonna submerge the whole thing, all the way down, right? And I'm gonna show you how to clean the bottom of this one. Ready? So it's glazed, the whole thing is glazed.
What about where your fingers are? Is that part gonna be wet?
You're one step too far. Hold on. I'm just waiting for this, the texture change, so I can touch it from underneath. If I just touch it too soon, then I will be more fingerprints, and I'm gonna have to spend way more time than I need to. All right, it's still shiny there, so I'm just gonna wait a little bit.
It's dripping.
Good. Okay, so this is the part, right? You're talking about. There's the finger marks. Dip your finger, right? That's it. Done. Just dab it. And I can see the part, the one side it looks good, the color is consistent, but the other side, I can see a little bit of the pink through the color of the clay. So that means that area has thinner clay application. So once everything gets the texture changed, I'm gonna dip it one more time. Put a second coat. So I wanna make sure the color of the coating is the same throughout. Good. All right. And if I put this over here like this, and then fire it, then glaze and glaze, eventually the glaze will become a glass. Then we'll seal. There's no way for me to separate them, the lid, away from the container. So now I'm gonna have to clean it. Will you pass me a wet sponge? Thank you. Yeah, I can see all this dried wax marks. Yeah, so if I leave it, unglazed pots over it, that little thin layer is going to transfer onto the pot. So my idea is not only clean it, put a newspaper, to create your own space. But once you're done with the work, you just have to throw the newspaper away. Okay, have some clean layer of paper. Okay, so the glaze and glaze, even okay. Well, there's a glaze on the very bottom, there's a glaze over here. They're supposed to stay together, but if I fire it all together, the glaze will melt, they will fuse together, right? So this needs to be clean. How do I clean it? Just get a wet sponge. something like this. By doing so, I applied enough pressure so it took off about a 1 pencil width of the glaze from inside, okay? And then there's no point of keep doing it on the dirty surface because I'm bringing the glaze back, I'm just rubbing the glaze into the clean surface constantly. And then I see no residue, so that means it's clean, right? But this part is clean, this part is clean, but I still have this glaze over here. So even if the lid is clean, if I fire it like this, still sufficient amount of glaze on the pot side to fuse it together. So I'm gonna keep it on the side. I'm gonna fire separately. Okay. So once you apply the glaze, I see a lot. Okay, oh shoot, I splattered the glaze. If you put this upside down, just the purpose of cleaning the bottom, you're gonna chip the glaze. I was aggressive, put it down. If you put it down, even carefully, start cleaning the bottom, you will, chipping will happen. There's no way to fix it. So the cleaning has to be done while you hold it in hand. Once the whole thing is dipped into the bucket, don't put it down. The only part you can put it down is where it's supposed to, right side up. Okay? Good? Okay, so we will have all the glazes filled by the end of today, hopefully, if not tomorrow. And then, just come in anytime and then start glazing at least the first assignment. But over time, as I mentioned, you guys been working really hard, sculpting part, right? So that is a good exercise to build your personal confidence, right? Being able to create complex, different shapes and everything. But you need to build the confidence with glazing, coloring part, right? So you need to make a lot of little things, just to practice exercise, okay? So if it's great, it's fall, soon holidays come in. If you want to make personal gift, cups, mugs, something, right? Use them and then use them as a practice of glazing, right? So you need something to practice, okay? And as I mentioned, even if you have a great piece, sculpture, the lack of confidence in coloring, that masterpiece is not going to look good. You need to figure out how to get the optimal results, right? You need confidence. That's what you need, okay? All right, thank you.